The sky above the alien orphanage was always gray. Cold winds moved through the steel walls and the place never felt like home. Inside, many alien children laughed, played, or waited for someone to adopt or choose them as a partner. But one girl always sat alone in the corner. Her name was Rava. She had dark purple skin, glowing silver eyes, and small, delicate horns on her head. She looked different from the others. Many feared her. Some said she was cursed. Others whispered that no one should ever mate with her, that any bond with her would bring bad luck. Rava didn't speak much. She spent most of her days drawing stars on the wall with a piece of old chalk. The other children avoided her. Some even threw stones at her when the caretakers weren't looking. Still, she never cried. But deep inside, she was breaking. On this day, something unusual happened. A spaceship landed outside the orphanage gates. The children ran to the windows to look. "It's a human ship," one boy shouted. "They never come here." The gates opened and a tall human man stepped in. He had short brown hair, curious eyes, and a kind smile. His name was Jack. He was an explorer, visiting different parts of the galaxy to learn about alien cultures. The head caretaker greeted him. "Welcome, human. This is our orphan center. Please look around. Maybe you'll find someone to bond with." Jack laughed. "I'm not here to mate," he said. "Just looking. I study alien social customs." But the aliens took his words differently. In their culture, bonding meant choosing a life partner, someone to protect and grow with. Even without knowing it, Jack had said something important. As Jack walked through the halls, many girls tried to get his attention. They smiled, showed off their talents, and whispered to each other, hoping the human would choose one of them. But Jack stopped when he saw her. Rava was sitting on the floor, drawing stars with chalk again. Her eyes glowed softly in the dim light. She looked up at Jack. No smile, no fear, just quiet curiosity. He bent down. "Hey, what are you drawing?" "Stars," she said softly. "I want to fly to them someday." "But no one will take me." Jack smiled. "Well, maybe one day you will." She tilted her head. "Would you take me?" Jack blinked. He didn't expect that. Take you where?" She stood up slowly. "They say I must bond with someone. Mate, no one wants me." "But you looked at me like I'm not broken." Jack scratched the back of his head. "You're not broken. Don't listen to them. You're just different." Around them, whispers started. "She asked him?" one girl hissed. "She chose. A human," a caretaker gasped. "Sir, she has chosen you. Do you accept?" "Wait, what?" Jack looked around, confused. "I thought we were just talking." Rava reached out and touched his hand. Her skin was warm, and her eyes lit up brighter. "I choose you," she said. For a moment, the entire room went quiet. Then came laughter. Loud, cruel laughter from the other children. "He accepted her," one boy shouted. "The cursed one." Rava looked down, ashamed, but Jack stepped forward and wrapped his jacket around her shoulders. "That's enough," he said firmly. "She's not cursed. She's brave." The caretakers looked shocked. "You would protect her?" Jack nodded, still confused but firm. "Yes, I don't know all your customs, but I don't leave people behind." Rava's eyes widened. No one had ever stood up for her. No one had ever cared. Something strange happened just then. A soft glow passed from her chest to his, like a silent energy. Jack didn't feel it, but the aliens did. "The bond has started," whispered the head caretaker. "It's real now." Jack didn't understand what he had just done. He didn't know that her species had ancient laws about choosing a mate. He didn't know that touching hands was a sacred act. He didn't know that she had just marked him as her one true partner for life. But Rava knew, and deep in her small heart, she whispered to herself, "Maybe I'm not unwanted anymore." Jack didn't sleep much that night. After leaving the orphanage, with Rava, he took her to his small ship. He thought he was just helping a lonely girl, maybe giving her a chance to explore the stars. But something felt strange. She didn't act like a normal child. She wasn't exactly adult either. She sat quietly in his ship, her hands folded in her lap like she was waiting for something big to happen. "Are you okay?" Jack asked, handing her a protein bar. She looked up at him. "I'm with you now. That means everything will change." Jack smiled kindly. "Yeah, well, we'll visit some planets, meet some people. Maybe I can help you find a place where you belong." Rava just stared at him. "I already belong. I'm yours." Jack laughed awkwardly. "That's sweet, kid, but I'm not adopting anyone." She blinked slowly. "Adopt?" "No, you accepted my bond. That means we're mates now." He froze. "What?" Rava tilted her head. "You said yes. You protected me. You let me touch your hand. You didn't reject me. You wore the bonding cloth." She touched the jacket still wrapped around her shoulders. Jack's heart skipped a beat. Wait, slow down. I was just being nice." "To you," she said calmly, "that may be kindness. But to my people, that was a full bonding ritual." Jack stood up and paced the small ship. "I didn't mean to. Rava, I had no idea. I don't even know what your culture expects." "You touched my hand," she repeated, "and I touched yours. You stood up for me. My body has started changing. Already." He turned sharply. "Changing? What does that mean?" She looked down at her fingers. "You'll see soon." Jack didn't know what to say. Was this some kind of misunderstanding? Or had he really accidentally tied himself to a species with ancient mating traditions? Still, Rava wasn't demanding. She wasn't angry. She simply followed him around the ship, watched him closely, and listened to everything he said like it mattered more than anything. Later that day, Jack took her to a nearby space station. It was a trading hub, a place full of aliens, humans, and droids. He needed advice. He needed someone who understood her species better. They entered the station, and within minutes, every alien turned to stare at Rava. Some looked afraid. Others looked shocked. One old alien, a tall one with scales and a red cloak, approached them. "You brought her here?" the alien growled. Jack frowned. "What's the problem?" "That's Rava. The orphan. The one they warned about." Jack narrowed his eyes. "What warning?" "She's not normal. Her blood carries something old, something dangerous. Her people fear her because they don't understand her." Jack looked at Rava. She looked down again, silent and ashamed. The alien leaned closer. "But if she has chosen you, and if you have accepted, then you are now part of her bond. There is no turning back." Jack's stomach dropped. "Why is everyone acting like she's a threat?" "She's not a threat," said the alien slowly. "She's power. You'll see it soon." That night, back on the ship, Jack found Rava, standing near the window staring into space. "I don't want to cause trouble," she said softly. "I just wanted someone to see me." Jack sighed. "I see you, kid, I do, but this is bigger than I expected." "I can help you," she said. "My bond will protect you. I'll become strong. Just for you." Jack looked at her, glowing. Silver eyes. Something about them made his chest tighten. She wasn't lying. She wasn't pretending. But what had he truly agreed to? And why was his body starting to feel different? The ship floated through deep space, but something inside it was no longer calm. Jack sat at the control panel, trying to focus on charts and fuel levels. But his hands were shaking. His chest felt hot. His heart beat faster every hour. He hadn't eaten much. He couldn't sleep. And whenever he looked at Rava, he felt something strange moving inside him. She sat silently across the room, her hands folded. She didn't blink much. Her silver eyes followed him like a shadow. "Rava," he said, voice dry. "Are you doing something to me?" She shook her head gently. "Not me. The bond. It's alive now. Jack rubbed his forehead. What does that mean? I'm sweating all day. I can feel your thoughts. Sometimes, I even feel your pain. She stood up and walked toward him. Our connection has begun. My species shares more than words with our chosen. We share senses, emotions, even strength. Jack took a step back. Is that why I can lift heavy things like they're nothing, now? I threw a cargo crate earlier like it was made of feathers. Yes, she said calmly. Your body is responding to my gene thread. My what now? Rava placed her hand gently on his arm. When I bonded with you, a part of me entered your body. It's not infection. It's union. My DNA, my energy, is now helping you. Jack's eyes widened. You mean I'm becoming like you? No, she said softly. You're becoming more than yourself. Before he could reply, the ship's alarm began to blare. Warning. Unidentified vessel approaching. Jack spun around. The radar showed a dark, silent ship flying fast toward them. Pirates, Jack muttered. Or worse. The ship didn't send a signal. It didn't answer hails, and within minutes it fired a warning shot, just enough to shake Jack's ship hard. Jack pulled Rava behind him. Stay back. No, she said, her voice suddenly stronger. Let me protect you. Jack turned to argue, but what he saw made him freeze. Her body was glowing. Not just her eyes. Her skin shimmered faintly with silver light. Her hair floated as if caught in soft wind. She stepped forward, hands clenched, her small form surrounded by silent power. Then the enemy ship docked. 3 large alien raiders forced their way in. They were armored, tall, and carried stun lances. Human vessel. Surrender the girl, their leader hissed. Jack raised his plasma cutter. Not a chance. But before he could fire, Rava stepped in front of him. The first alien laughed. Move, Orphan, we know what you are. I'm not just an orphan, Rava said coldly. I'm bonded. A shockwave burst from her chest. The metal walls shook. The pirates flew back and slammed into the floor. Jack gasped. What the hell? Rava's voice echoed like thunder. No one touches him. One of the raiders tried to stand. Rava raised her hand and the floor under him cracked open. The man fell unconscious as if gravity itself had betrayed him. Jack couldn't believe his eyes. She was a child, a quiet orphan girl. But now, she was something else. Something powerful. When the last pirate dropped, the lights dimmed. Rava fell to her knees, breathing fast. Jack rushed to catch her. Rava, are you okay? She nodded weakly. The bond protects you, but it takes from me. You used your life force. She leaned into him, trembling. To save you. I'd give all of it. Jack held her tightly, his heart pounding. This wasn't just a cultural misunderstanding anymore. This was real, deep, dangerous, and maybe beautiful. He didn't know what Rava truly was yet. But one thing was certain. He couldn't walk away now. After the attack, Jack knew they couldn't stay in deep space any longer. Rava was resting, her body still glowing faintly, but weaker now. She had used a power Jack couldn't explain, and it had nearly broken her. He looked down at her sleeping face and whispered, You need help, and I need answers. He sent a message to the planet Veltara, homeworld of Rava's species. He didn't expect a reply, but they answered. Quickly. Bring her, the voice said, before it is too late. The planet was covered in glowing forests and floating crystal towers. Strange creatures moved through the air like fish through water. It looked peaceful, but Jack felt something watching him the moment he landed. A group of elders waited for them at the crystal gate. Tall, ancient beings wrapped in silver robes. Their eyes glowed the same as Rava's, but colder, sharper, wiser. One elder stepped forward. His name was Torin, and he spoke without emotion. You are the human, the bonded one. Jack nodded. Yes. I need help. She fainted after protecting me. And I don't understand what's happening to her. Or me. Torin glanced at the sleeping girl in Jack's arms. You do not know what you carry, do you? Jack narrowed his eyes. Carry? She's just a girl. The elder shook his head. She is not just anything. She is the last of the Velkari, a bloodline long thought extinct. Her kind was erased for being too powerful, too unstable. Jack's stomach turned. Are you saying she's dangerous? She is evolution, Torin replied. Her genes allow her to merge with another being, not just emotionally, but physically, mentally, spiritually. You feel stronger now, yes? Faster, sharper? Jack nodded slowly. She is rewriting your biology, Torin said. Every moment you're with her, the bond deepens. You are no longer fully human. Jack took a step back, trying to process. You said her kind was erased. Why? He asked. Torin's voice dropped lower. Because once fully bonded, they could destroy entire armies or raise entire worlds. Another elder stepped forward. A woman, her voice gentler but firm. We did not kill them all. We hid the last. We placed her in the orphanage. We waited to see if anyone would choose her. You used her as a test? Jack growled. She needed a mate, the woman said. Not just any mate, someone whose spirit wouldn't break under the bond, someone strong enough to survive the merge. Jack shook his head. I didn't agree to merge, Torin frowned. But you didn't reject her either, and she chose you. That choice cannot be undone. Suddenly, Rava stirred in his arms. Her eyes opened slowly, and they didn't shine silver anymore. They burned gold. The elders gasped. The transformation has begun, one whispered. Rava looked at Jack and spoke with a voice both hers and something more. I can feel you, all of you. Your fear, your pain, your memories. Jack swallowed hard. What's happening to you? To us, she said, correcting him gently. Torin stepped forward again. You must decide, human. Leave now, and the bond will tear her apart. She will die slowly, alone, or stay, and accept what she is, what you are becoming. Jack looked down at her. This strange, powerful being who once sat alone, broken in an orphanage, and now, she was tied to his soul. He took a deep breath. I'm not leaving her. Jack sat on a stone bench beneath glowing alien trees. The leaves shimmered like soft stars. But nothing about this place felt peaceful anymore. His chest burned, not from fire, but from connection. Every breath he took, he felt like he was breathing with someone else, Rava. She was still inside the elder chamber under protection. They said she needed time to stabilize, that her powers were still fusing with his body. But Jack, he felt like he was disappearing. He looked at his shaking hands. They didn't feel like his anymore. They were stronger, faster, but not human. He whispered to himself, What have I done? Footsteps came from behind. It was Elder, Torin. The bond is almost complete, Torin said, but you're afraid. I didn't sign up for this, Jack snapped. I was just trying to help a lonely kid. I didn't want to be part of some alien prophecy. Torin nodded calmly. And yet you stayed. Even now you have not walked away. I want to, Jack admitted. I want to go back to my ship. Forget this happened. The elder raised an eyebrow. Then do it. Leave. Jack looked up, startled. But if you leave, Torin continued, Rava will not survive. Her bond will shatter. Her body will collapse. From rejection. You were her only choice, and now her only lifeline. Jack stood. That's not fair. No, Torin said, but it is truth. That evening, Jack was summoned to the Crystal Trial Hall. The walls were alive with light. A circle of alien judges sat in silence. At the center was Rava, standing tall, glowing softly, but visibly trembling. And beside her, a second figure formed. A reflection of Jack, half energy, half man. It pulsed with his emotions. This is your bond spirit, one judge said. It carries both your will and hers. If it breaks now, both souls suffer. Jack stared at it, heart racing. It looked like him but felt foreign, like a stranger wearing his skin. Do you wish to sever the bond? Another judge asked. Jack opened his mouth and paused. He looked at Rava. She wasn't begging. She wasn't crying. She just stood there, silent, eyes locked on his. She looked. Ready. Ready to be abandoned, if that's what he chose. She had lived her life expecting rejection. Jack clenched his fists. If I walk away, she dies. Her light will fade, Torin confirmed. And if I stay? Jack asked. She will live, a soft voice answered. It was Rava. And you will become more, not just stronger, not just faster, but truly bonded. Our minds, our feelings, our power, shared. Jack stepped forward. And what happens to me? You will no longer be alone, she said. Ever again, the bond spirit began to flicker, unstable like a candle in the wind. Choose, the judges echoed. Now. Jack closed his eyes. Flashes of memories hit him. Her small voice in the orphanage. Do you want a mate? The moment she touched his hand, her glowing form protecting him from pirates. The way she whispered, I would give all of it for you. He took a breath and stepped into the bond spirit. The light exploded around them. Not pain, not fear, but warmth, a joining. When Jack opened his eyes, he was still himself, but not just himself. Rava stood beside him, glowing golden now, not weak, not trembling, and not alone. Jack looked at the elders. I don't care what she is, she chose me, and I choose her back. Jack walked silently through the glowing forest, Rava by his side. Her hand barely brushed his, but he could feel her emotions like waves crashing in his chest. Something was wrong. Ever since the bond fully awakened, Rava had been quiet. Not the usual quiet. This was a heavy silence, like she was hiding something. They stopped near a crystal spring. Its water shimmered like liquid stars. Jack finally asked, What is it you're not telling me? She looked away. You should have left when you had the chance. Jack stepped in front of her. Tell me. Rava's eyes glowed, not silver, not gold, but a deep violet. She opened her hand and a soft orb of light floated between her fingers. Inside it danced ancient symbols, alien, pulsing with power. This is a memory core, she whispered. Locked inside me since I was born. It holds the truth my people tried to erase. Jack watched as the orb floated between them and opened like a flower made of light. The vision hit him like a shockwave. Flashback. Long ago, the Valkyrie were not feared. They were worshipped. They were guardians of the stars, beings who could heal worlds or destroy them, depending on who they bonded with. But power breeds fear. One day, a child was born, more powerful than any before. Her glow could bend space, her voice could silence storms. The elders grew afraid. So they lied. Said she was cursed. Said she was unstable. Her parents tried to protect her, but they were silenced. The child was taken, hidden in the darkest corner of the galaxy. Her name erased from history. That child was Rava. Jack staggered backward, breath stolen. You were that child? She nodded slowly. I was never just an orphan. I was locked away because they feared what I'd become. Why? Didn't you tell me? He asked. I wanted to be chosen for me, not for power, not because of what I could do. Jack's voice broke. Rava, they didn't just abandon you, they betrayed you. She looked up, her eyes full of centuries of pain. And now that the bond is complete, they'll come for me again, to control me, or end me. A deep rumble echoed through the trees. Jack turned toward the sound. What was that? From above, a black ship entered the sky, silent and massive, its hull marked with the insignia of the Stellar Tribunal. They found me, Rava whispered. Jack pulled her behind him. Who are they? The ones who destroyed my family, she said, voice trembling. The ones who created the curse story. They rule the High Council across 3 galaxies. And now they know you've awakened? Jack asked. Rava's eyes burned. No. We've awakened. They fear the bond more than me. Jack clenched his fists. Then let them come. We'll face them together. Rava shook her head. They'll offer you a deal. They'll ask you to walk away, to let them take me, and if you refuse, they'll kill me, Jack asked. No, she said. They'll kill worlds. Just then a beam of red light shot down from the ship, melting the edge of the forest. Jack stood tall, heart racing, fire in his chest. They want a weapon. Rava stepped beside him, her voice firm. Then we'll show them what a bonded soul really is. The skies above Velthara cracked open. The ship of the Stellar Tribunal hovered like a hungry god, ready to erase anything below it. Red energy swirled beneath its hull. Every tree, every tower, every being trembled under its presence. But in the center of the courtyard stood 2 figures, Jack, and beside him, Rava, glowing with power no one could ignore anymore. This is your final warning, a cold voice echoed from the sky. Release the girl. Step away, human. Or your earth will burn first. Jack didn't move. He took Rava's hand, their fingers, locking tightly. You threatened the wrong girl, he said, loud enough for the ship to hear. And the wrong species. The sky flashed. The tribunal soldiers dropped like falling stars, armored, armed, merciless. But Jack didn't flinch. His eyes glowed now, half human blue, half Vael gold. He stepped forward, skin pulsing with energy passed from Rava's bond. His voice thundered, I'm not just a human anymore. The soldiers surrounded them, forming a circle. One charged. Rava didn't even raise a hand. Jack moved like a lightning bolt. His punch sent the soldier crashing into the air like a rag doll. 2 more came from behind. Rava floated above the ground, her hair glowing, her body shining like a newborn sun. She waved her arm and the ground split beneath them, swallowing them whole. More soldiers fell, but the tribunal kept sending more. Jack's strength grew with every second. He could feel Rava's heartbeat sinking with his. Her thoughts were his thoughts. Her fear became his fire, but they were tiring. Jack gasped. They just keep coming. Rava's voice echoed in his mind. Then let them come. We have one last move. She stepped forward. The energy around her formed a sphere of light. Her body began to change. Her form now looked older, taller, regal. The queen within her had awakened. She raised her arms. From every direction, light poured from the trees, from the stars, from the bond she shared with Jack. Enough hiding, she whispered. Let the galaxy see who I really am. The clouds parted. Her voice exploded across the planet. I am Rava Valkyrie, last daughter of the starlit bloodline, bonded to the human who chose me when all others looked away. I am no longer alone, and I am no longer weak. A wave of energy shot from her body, turning the tribunal ship's shields to dust. Jack stood beside her, heart pounding, and when the enemy commander tried to fire the final weapon, Rava placed her hand on Jack's chest and whispered, Now. Their combined light shot into the sky. One beam, made from 2 souls. The tribunal ship exploded in total silence, then rained fire like falling stars. The battle was over. Hours later, Jack stood on the temple steps. Aliens from many races had gathered. None looked at Rava with fear now. They bowed. They called her queen. But she stood tall only when Jack stood beside her. You gave me strength, she said softly. Jack smiled. You gave me purpose. A High Council member stepped forward. You two are now recognized across this system as bonded rulers. Do you accept? Rava looked at Jack. He grinned. Guess I'm not going back to Earth anytime soon. They both laughed. Once, she was the girl no one wanted. Now, she was loved by a human and honored by the galaxy. And Jack? He was the first human ever to bond with a living weapon and turn her into a queen. Together, they were no longer just Rava and Jack. They were legend.